From the shoot to the glory, every ride tells a story. Let's see who's riding theirs. Bull riding as a team sport? Yeah, you heard right. Welcome to Dirt and Glory. Today we're breaking down PBR Teams. PBR Teams is all about loyalty, grit, and team pride. PBR Teams. Founded in 2022, PBR Teams brings a team format to professional bull riding. It started with 8 teams, and then in 2024, 2 more teams got added to the league. 10 teams, coaches, assistant coaches, GMs, and rosters, kind of like the NBA or NFL, but with bulls. It's head-to-head matchups of 5 starting riders per team, and 1 team walks away with the win at the end of the season. And just like other major leagues, teams use trades as part of the strategy. Teams can move protected roster riders before the deadline, and those trades can include things such as draft picks, cash, or even future trades. Each team has a protected roster of up to 7 riders and can carry up to 5 on the reserve roster. There's also an injured reserve roster as well. That gives teams the ability to rotate riders in and out over the weekend, keeping their guys fresh and giving the team flexibility to stay competitive. Throughout the season, every team gets to host 1 home event in their home city. Plus, there are 2 neutral site events for a total of 12 regular season events. Across those events, each team competes in 28 games and all lead to the PBR Teams Championship in Las Vegas every November. Let's meet the team, starting with the Austin Gamblers from Austin, Texas, with Coach Michael Gaffney. The Austin Gamblers are your 2024 PBR Teams World Champions. This team is stacked. This roster is probably honestly one of the strongest rosters you can see as far as this season goes. You have 2 world champions in Kaique Pacheco and 3-time world champion Jose Vitor Leme. You have 7-time PRCA bull riding world champion Sage Kimsey, along with veterans Denner Barbosa, Dalton Castle, Lucas Divino, and Ramon de Lima. Next up, the Arizona Ridge Riders from Glendale, Arizona, with Coach Colby Yates. Protected roster rider notables include veterans Eduardo Aparecido, Luciano de Castro, Colton Fritzland, and Keyshawn Whitehorse. The Carolina Cowboys from Greensboro, North Carolina, with Coach Jerome Davis. The Carolina Cowboys are another team with a packed roster, including 2 world champions in Cooper Davis and Dalen Swearengin, along with veterans Derek Kolbaba, Adriano Salgado, and young phenom Clay Guyton. Kansas City Outlaws from Kansas City, Missouri, with Coach J.W. Hart. The Kansas City Outlaws have the 2024 PBR UTB season world champion, Casio Diaz, along with Sandro Batista, who's one of their most reliable riders last season. The Missouri Thunder, who originally started in Ridgedale, Missouri, last year moved to Springfield, Missouri, under coaches Ross Coleman and Luke Snyder. Notable key players on Missouri Thunder include the 2020 PBR World Finals event winner, Boudreaux Campbell, along with switch hitter Paulo Eduardo Rosetto, that's a story for another time, and Andrew Alvidrez. The Nashville Stampede out of Nashville, Tennessee, with Coach Justin McBride. The Nashville Stampede won the first ever PBR Teams Championship in 2022. This team has a great mix of veterans like Cody Jesus and Alan De Souza, and relatively new but a very impactful riders such as Caden Loud, Vitor Losnacki, and Austin Richardson. The Florida Freedom, who's originally the Oklahoma Freedom, are out of Sunrise, Florida, with Coach Paulo Krimber. In the off-season, the Florida Freedom acquired one of the greatest PBR bull riders in all time in Joao Ricardo Vieira. This team brings forth a lot of youth, and they have some very young standouts such as John Krimber, Elzamar Jeremias, and Tiago Salgado. The Texas Rattlers out of Fort Worth, Texas, are coached by Cody Lambert. The Texas Rattlers won the 2023 PBR Teams Championship. The Rattlers are another team with a packed squad. 2 of their clutch riders, Brady Fielder, who had the highest ride percentage in PBR Teams record with 70% last year, and also Daniel Keeping, who rode 10 straight bulls last year for a PBR Teams record for most consecutive rides without a buck off. They also have veterans Ezekiel Mitchell and Claudio Montana Jr. The New York Mavericks, an expansion team from 2024, are out of Belmont Park, New York, with Coach Cody Lostro. Not only are the New York Mavericks a newer team, but they're also pretty young in their roster, although they do have veteran Mason Taylor, who will definitely be a leading force in their team. But they also have some young players who have definitely made a name for themselves over the last couple UTB seasons, such as Marco Rizzo, Mauricio Maria, Caden Bunch, and Hudson Bolton. The Oklahoma Wildcatters are another expansion team from 2024. They're out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with Coach J.B. Mooney. The Wildcatters are a newer team with quite a young roster as well, but they do have a veteran in 2024 NFR World Champion Josh Frost. This team may be young, but they have a lot of riders you really need to keep an eye out for, such as Court McFadden, Case Hitt, and Kyler Oliver. Just like in other sports, wins and losses matters. Over the 12-event regular season, each team's record determines their playoff seedings for the PBR Teams Championships in Las Vegas. And finishing in the top two gives you a first-round bye, which obviously is a huge advantage when it comes to players being a bit more rested. Each event has 8 teams that face off, 5 riders each. Best combined score wins. Every qualified ride counts. If a team was offered a re-ride and received a score, if they accept the re-ride, that score gets wiped off the board. Are there challenges? Yes, each team gets 1 challenge per game. Coaches have a yellow flag that they can throw to signal a challenge. The challenge can be made on their own ride or against their opponent. Similar to the Unleash the Beast tour, the challenge must be made within 30 seconds of the rider's buck off. When the coaches throw the flag, they have to tell the shoot judge exactly what they are challenging. When the judge who's reviewing the challenge makes a decision, a thumbs up means a score and a thumbs down means no score. The same judge is used for the entirety of the event. So how do the riders and bulls get matched up? There are 8 pens, 1 for each team that's competing that day, and there are 5 bulls per pen. There's also a separate re-ride pen that has different bulls that get selected if a re-ride is awarded. But as far as the 8 pens that are initially there, they're assigned randomly to a team, and then it's the coach's job to try to match up the bull and the rider and try to get a score out of that matchup. Now here's where it gets fun. At the end of each event day, the teams that win their games faces off in a shootout round for bonus money. It works kind of like a penalty shootout in soccer with 1 rider per team chosen by the coach gets 1 shot. The shootout rider can be a rider who did ride earlier that day, and that is the only time that a rider can ride twice in a day outside of a re-ride opportunity. The highest marked ride wins extra cash for their team, but this doesn't affect standings or playoff position at all. If no one makes a qualified ride, it goes on to the aggregate score from that day's matchup to break the tie. Another thing to note, during the season, riders are competing to be the team season MVP, which is the aggregate of all their rides over the season, and also during the PBR Teams Championship, an MVP of the championship will be crowned as well. Both MVP titles come with a cash bonus. Fans love PBR teams because bull riding meets city loyalty, jerseys, there's rivalries, strategy, high stakes, high adrenaline action with a team twist. Love bull riding? Want to stay up to date this team season? Comment below who's your team. Also, please do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel. It's not just about the 8 seconds, it's about the commitment, courage, and the grit. Until next time, this is Dirt and Glory.